Hello everyone, my name is Alicia Harrison and this is Chapter 4, Individual Differences, Part 2, Self-Concept, Learning Styles, and Types of Fit. Chapter 4's learning objectives are to define self-concept and describe what managers can do to enhance its effects in the workplace, explain the differences between a learning orientation and a performance orientation, explain how learning styles differ, describe the 4 different types of fit, describe psychological contracts and the role they play in organizations, and explain how realistic job previews can be used to support psychological contracts. As we go over the following slides, keep these in the back of your mind so you can benefit the most from the presentation. Self-concept is a person's perception of him or herself as a physical, spiritual, or moral being. There are 3 major self-concept traits which we will go over in the coming slides. These primary traits are self-esteem, core self-evaluations, and self-efficacy. The psychological study of nature versus nurture can apply to this concept in its formation, as our interactions with the world and the people around us can shape our personality and behavior. Self-esteem is our feelings of self-worth and our liking or disliking of ourselves. Self-esteem is positively related to job performance and learning. It is also strongly related to emotional processes like anxiety and regulating emotions. Core self-evaluations are the fundamental premise people hold about themselves and their functioning in the world. We have already reviewed self-esteem and will cover self-efficacy next. Locus of control is the perceived degree of control we have over what happens to us, which breaks down into internal control, where you are responsible for what happens, and external control, the belief where out of their control factors are believed to be responsible. Neuroticism is the tendency to experience poor emotional adjustments and negative affective states, including hostility, fear, and depression. Self-efficacy is a person's confidence in his or her ability to organize and execute the courses of action necessary to accomplish a specific task. General self-efficacy is your generalized belief that you will be successful at whatever challenges or tasks you might face. Positive self-efficacy can aid in the setting and accomplishing of challenging goals, persistence development, and skill building. Goal orientation is comprised of learning and performance goal orientation elements, which are learning, characterized by a belief that abilities are changeable and a desire to increase task mastery or competence, and performance, a belief that abilities are fixed and a desire to demonstrate high ability to be positively evaluated by others. Learning styles are individual differences in preferences and how we process information when problem solving, learning, or engaging in similar activities. This concept can be applied to the real world very easily. The way your employees learn best might not be the way you do, so knowing the different learning styles can be very useful when training or implementing new ideas. Sensory modalities is a system that interacts with the environment through one of the basic senses. To determine your style, ask yourself if you learn best by seeing visuals, if you learn best by hearing a lecture, do you learn best by touching in a hands-on environment, or do you learn better by doing, where in kinesthetic learning. Figure out which learning style works best for you, can lead to increased comprehension, and gives you the ability to identify the instructional method that you need to succeed. Style inventories are another approach to understanding and categorizing learning styles. Convergers depend on active experimentation and abstract conceptualization to learn. They are superior with technology, but are mediocre in interpersonal settings. Divergers rely on concrete and reflective observations. Assimilators depend on both abstract conceptualization and reflective observation. They are logical and precise. Accommodators rely on active experimentation and concrete experience. They are risk takers and action seekers. Those are the Kolb inventories. Style orientations was created by Annette Toller and Robert Dubois' creation to address some of the limitations of the Kolb inventory. They demonstrate how learning style orientations predict preferences beyond the Big 5 personality traits and have listed their key 5 factors. Discovery learners prefer subjective assessments and active reflective activities. Experiential learners have a desire for hands-on approaches. Observational learners prefer external stimuli like diagrams or demonstrations. Structured learners need to take notes and highlight steps to a task. Group learners prefer to work with others interactively. Person-to-job fit is the fit between a person's ability and the demands of the job, and the fit between a person's desire and motivations and the attributes and rewards of a job. This match is important for both the organization and the employee. If a job does not fit your needs, then it is not ideal and job satisfaction and performance will suffer. Person-to-group fit is the match between an individual and his or her superior and work group. The advantages to person-to-group fit are improved job satisfaction and organizational commitment. Person-to-organization fit is the fit between an individual's values, beliefs, attitudes, and personality, and the values, norms, and culture of the organization. Real-world example can be provided through Netflix hiring practices. Netflix chooses to take their time with employees by creating an employee base with motivated people who care about the company and who are willing to take Netflix to the next level. They strive to keep their corporate culture in the forefront of their employees' minds and try to hire the right people for the right job. Skills are not the only hiring qualifications that should be considered. Person-to-vocation fit is the fit between a person's interests, abilities, values, and personality and a profession. Those that are realistic tend to be hands-on and practical. More investigatives are intellectual and scientific. Artistic is more original and chaotic. Socials are supporting and healing. Enterprisers are good with leadership. And conventionals tend to be clerical. Complementary fit is the degree to which an employee adds something that is missing in the organization or work group by being different from others. Supplementary fit is the degree to which a person's characteristics are similar to those that already exist in the organization. Together, these types of fit ensure organizations hire employees that will work well with existing teams while still bringing a fresh perspective and new skills. Psychological contracts is the expectation of employer and employee of the employment relationship, including mutual obligations, values, expectations, and aspirations that operate over and above the formal contract of employment. These contracts do not have to be written or presented in a formal capacity, but they are incredibly powerful determinants of behavior. Realistic job previews provide both positive and potentially negative information to job candidates and can lead to decreases in psychological contract violations. The takeaway points correspond to the objectives, so I have also included them again. My hope for this presentation is that you are now able to check the objectives off and understand the points they highlight from this chapter. Takeaway point 1 reviews how self-concept is a person's perception of oneself, so managers must try to boost their employees' self-efficacy. Takeaway point 2 explains how learning goal orientation reflects more of a changeable and desirable increase for task mastery, whereas performance reflects more of a fixed ability and outperforming of others. Takeaway point 3 highlights the differences in learning styles and their main preference. Takeaway point 4 highlights the relationship between the different types of fits. Takeaway point 5 is about the expectations of the employment relationship between employee and employer. And lastly, takeaway point 6 explains how RJPs support psychological contracts by increasing the accuracy of employees' expectations of the employer. In that, my question to the class is, how do different learning styles affect both management and their employees? My name is Alicia Harrison. Thank you for watching my presentation. Have a great day.